Hi, welcome to the fourth episode of Learn RubyMotion. In the previous episode, we were building a login screen using RMQ. So let's continue on with that theme. So at the end of the last episode, we ended up with login v2 controller, which looked something like this. So this kind of worked, but one thing that is not very good is we are putting the style information inside the controller. So that's not very nice of us. So fortunately, RMQ has a good solution for that, and that's exactly what we did. So we created a new style sheets folder. In that folder, we put in login v3 controller. By the way, we are in the part 3, so we will be using rake part equal to 3. So everything has a v3 name. Before I show the style sheet information, let's first run the application to see how it looks. So we can do rake part 3 and the application is being built, and this is what we see. So it's the same information except that it's a little bit nicely presented, and this time we have an additional submit button. So now let's look at the style sheet. So the first thing what we do is we create something called a standard appearance, and the standard appearance is nothing else but it's like a global style sheet, so that anywhere I can say font huge and it will be consistent. I can say font larger, font large, font medium. Similarly, we have some consistent color, so that just like in a web development we have a master style sheet, similarly we are trying to mimic that kind of thing. So here the first 29 lines of code is dealing with a standard appearance, and in order to set that, what we do is that we go to app delegate, and since we are dealing with part 3 here, we call a standard appearance dot set named fonts and colors. So that takes care of standard appearance. Now let's come to the style sheet. So in the style sheet world, we have something similar. We create a class application style sheet, which subclasses from RubyMotion style sheet, and we have right now one button called standard button. And the idea is exactly what the method name says, to create a standardized buttons. So all the buttons will have a height of 35, they will have particular color, they will have a particular background color, and they will have a consistent font. And after that, we have our first controller. So before we look at the controller style sheet, now let's go back and look at our controller for login v3. So in the login v3, remember in the login v2, we have this code to append the UI view, to append the email UI text field, the password text field, and then some style sheet information. Here, all that is gone, and all the style sheet related information is gone. And this time we have one extra thing, which is q.append UI button, because we are adding one more button. But before that, we have two things. One is rmq.stylesheet login v3 controller style sheet, and then we do apply a style root view. So let's look at that. So there in the controller, we are saying that what style sheet I am going to use, login v3 controller style sheet, and this is login v3 controller style sheet, which is a subclass of application style sheet. And then we say that apply the root view. So we apply the root view, we pass the style sheet, and then we set the background color, and then we have certain methods like login button, email, password. And the way it works is that when we do UI append UI view login form, then RMQ goes and looks at the style sheet for a method named login form, and it invokes that method. Similarly, when we do q.append UI text field, then RMQ once again goes and looks inside the style sheet for a method named email. Next, it will look for a method named password, and then it will look for a method named login button. Now, so when RMQ is looking for these methods, it will find those methods like login button. It will pass the style sheet, and that is our opportunity to style the button. And the way we style the button is by invoking certain methods like create the standard buttons, and the distance from the top is 140 and the text is login. Similarly for email, we have the top 60, we have the placeholder, clear button mode, keyboard type, border style, and auto correction type. And for password, we say that security text entry is true, so that secure text entry is true, so that we don't see the password. And then we have fields. Fields is a standard method, so that all the style sheet is properly centered and has the proper background color. And then lastly, we have the login form, which is centered horizontally. So that's how these methods are being invoked. What I like about here is clear separation, just like on a web page. Here we have a controller where we can do all our business logic, and this is the style sheet. That's it for this episode. In the next episode, we will try to enhance this login screen, and we will add a few more features. Thank you.